It's 8:47 p.m. You tell yourself you'll go to the gym after 2 games. You win the first, you queue again, then you lose the second. You can't end on that. Midnight arrives quickly, the gym's closed. Again, here's the thing. You weren't lazy, you were calculating. Every time you choose ranked over training, your brain runs a silent equation. If I go to the gym, I lose progress. That's opportunity cost bias. We overvalue what feels productive right now, and we undervalue what compounds quietly in the background. Ranked feels productive, SR moves, XP ticks up, Battle Pass expires, limited time skins, season resets. Games are built on reinforcement loops. You act, you get feedback, your brain gets rewarded. You repeat this behaviour. That's behaviour psychology 101. You've been trained extremely well. But here's the problem. Gym doesn't flash. It doesn't update your rank tonight. It's no badge for increasing cerebral flow. No notification for improved stress regulation. But psychologically, training upgrades the hardware running the game. Aerobic conditioning improves oxygen delivery to the brain. Strength training improves tissue tolerance and postural endurance. Regular movement improves metabolic efficiency and fatigue resistance. Not instantly, but over weeks, your baseline changes. Here's where the calculation is wrong. You think opportunity cost is the hour you'd spend training. It's not. The real opportunity cost is what happens when you avoid it for 6 months. Neck stiffness creeps in earlier. Focus drops faster at night. You tilt quicker in 20 rounds than in 5. Your clutch moments feel heavier. Not because you're worse, because the system is undertrained. Performance isn't just mechanics, it's cognitive endurance under stress. There's also identity here. If you're trying to climb, stepping away feels like falling behind. Time equals effort, effort equals improvement. That story makes sense. But improvement doesn't scale linearly with hours played. After a point, it scales with attention, quality, decision speed, stress tolerance. That's cognitive load. And your brain? It runs on biology. Now here's the psychological trap. Humans discount delayed rewards. We prefer what pays now over what compounds later. Rank gives instant reinforcement. The gym asks for patience. That tension you feel, that's not weakness, that's normal cognitive bias. But once you see it, you redesign it. That's where you take control. Flip the loop. Train first, then queue. Use ranked as the reward. That's behaviour change. You're acting like you're attaching an immediate reinforcement, gaming, to the action that compounds longer term. Keep it simple, 20 to 30 minutes, 2 to 3 times a week, structured, non-negotiable. You wouldn't expect to rank after one aim session, so don't expect your physiology to upgrade after one workout. Adaptation requires repetition just like skill. Here's the experiment. 4 weeks, train twice per week, keep everything else stable. Notice late session focus, notice tilt tolerance, notice physical fatigue. If you like data, track it. Reaction time apps, in-game metrics, session length before performance drops. Treat your body like it's part of the build, because it is. You will still be there. Running culture isn't discipline if it ignores recovery. It's just volume. And volume without capacity caps your ceiling. You optimise crosshair placement, refresh rate, sensitivity curves, but ignore the biological hardware running the entire operation. That's a strange build choice. The opportunity cost of the gym isn't lost rank. The opportunity cost of avoiding it might be your ceiling. If you're serious about climbing, build a system that runs the climb. Train first, then queue. Let's upgrade your hardware.